Welcome inside this week's edition of Coach's Corner. I'm now joined alongside the interim head coach of Captain Shreve football, Coach Adam Kirby. Coach, thank you so much for the time.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be on.
So you came under Coach Brian Sepulveda, who is now moving into an administrative role. Talk to me about the process when you find out that Coach Sepulveda is moving up and you're going to be named interim head coach.
Yeah, it was kind of a quick deal. Going into administration was something that he wanted to do. He has a son that's playing football at Benton, and he wanted to be a dad. And with all the hours that every coach puts in, nobody could blame him. And so he had called me the night before the news broke and said that he was going to name me the interim head coach while they searched for a permanent solution. And it's been good. The positive thing is the kids know me. They know my expectation, having run the weight room, having done the off season, being the offensive coordinator last year. And I was the assistant head coach last year. So as far as handling the day-to-day and with the kids, it's been a very smooth transition.
I was just going to ask you how that transition has been, obviously knowing the kids. Has there been some learning curves along the way, or just more, maybe I know a lot of head coaches deal with more administrative things behind the scenes. Has it been more like that?
Yeah, there's been a lot of learning curves as far as, before it was score points and coach football and handle the offensive side of the ball. Now it's, if a freshman kid needs a order a part for a helmet or eligibility and fundraisers and everything else. But it's been a great process. Brian, I'm very, very fortunate to have him still in the building and in an administrative role to where he's very open. His phone's on him constantly. He's always willing to answer a text, a phone call. So having him in my corner and having him still on campus as well with our other administrative team, we're keeping all of our same coaching staff, so everybody's on the same page. So it's been very, very helpful to have all those people.
Now another transition will be the loss of Kendrick Law, obviously heading off to Alabama under Coach Nick Saban. I was going to ask you, how do you refill that spot?
We've got a lot of guys that are going to step up. We're very excited about this senior class. They were on the team last year. Everybody that is in this going to be senior class played significant minutes. So they've been in big-time ball games. Kendrick won't be on the field, obviously, but as far as filling his shoes, I don't want to look at it that way just because it makes it seem like one kid made the whole team. We had a lot of good players last year. A lot of kids. We had 10 kids sign college scholarships last year. And Kendrick got a lot of the attention, but Kendrick brought a lot of attention for his teammates as well. Replacing him is going to be tough. His athleticism, his character, his dad coaches our running back, so being a coach's kid, the work ethic, he'd text me 10 o'clock at night with a play idea. So you always want to coach kids like that, but, to say we'll replace him, it's going to be tough. He's the #1 player in the state, #3 player in the country. But we've got a lot of guys that I'm excited about seeing them step up and fill those positions, and I think we're going to be okay.
Another one of those guys who you talked about signing was Braylon Finney, but you do have Marquez back for a senior season. What's the plan? You said you have a lot of guys coming up for that second receiver spot.
Sure. Cam Randolph's really kind of emerged. He's a guy that started every game for us last year, made some big-time catches, had a great game in our second-round playoff game against Parkway, had, I think, 11 catches in that ball game alone. So he'll be a guy that's going to slide over and try to fill that role filled by Kendrick that you were asking me about. But Macho's going to do the same thing he's always done. We're going to move him around a little bit, try to get his speed out in some spaces, and there's not going to be anybody that can catch him. So I feel good about Macho with the ball in his hands because once he gets it, it's going to be a tough catch.
Now let me ask you about Macho heading off to Texas Tech.
Very excited, very excited. Coach McGuire, I've known Coach McGuire for a long time. I actually recruited his school when he was a high school coach, and I coached in college. And so he FaceTimed me that morning, and he said guns up. And then he put the phone on Macho, and him and his mom were in Lubbock, and so I got to talk to all of them. And he's just very, very, very excited. He gets to do track and football there, which are his two passions. Lubbock and Texas Tech and the staff, it felt like home. So all indications are that he's going to sign there, and I think he's going to do well.
Now for you, what are you most looking forward to once, summer workouts done heading into the season?
Just getting to put a headset on and coach football. Once we get the folders done and the fundraisers done and all the other things that I'm learning that come with this job, I'm looking forward to seeing our kids compete. We have great kids here. We have great coaches. Everybody's bought into the program of what we're trying to do, and really it runs itself because of what Coach Sepulveda, the groundwork he's laid. So I'm really just excited to get out there. We've got Loyola game 1, which is going to be tough. They were in the state semifinals last year. We've got Calvary game 2, who was in the state semifinals, and then the year before that was a state champion. win. And then we've got Union Parish at their place, which gave us arguably our toughest game last year. We were lucky to get out of there with a 22-21 win, and the last 3 years I think they've been to 3 state championships too. So then you get right into 1-5A where we kick it off with Bird, and then I think after Bird we've got Parkway, if I'm not mistaken. So the first 5 are going to be very, very tough. I'm just excited to get out there and start coaching and seeing our kids compete.